Well, the Blanco Lirio Mobile Command Post has made it all the way up to Bend, Oregon in our Cascade Loop tour this summer. And for the first time, I get to see the inside of Harold Cecil's Giant Loop store. Bend, Oregon, of course, being the outdoor capital of the West, Giant Loop is strategically located to take advantage of all the great riding here in Oregon. Giant Loop Moto has been in operation for 10 years now and has been selling soft luggage for off-road motorcycle enthusiasts, for adventure riders. It's the kind of products that allow us to go dirt biking on long extended giant loops, giant adventures, and carry our camping equipment along with us. Though this is a Bend-based store, Harold, and even though it's a small niche market, motorcycling, adventure motorcycling, Harold sells his products all around the world. So let's go inside and meet Harold and the crew and check out some of the products. All right, come on in, let's check it out.
Out here, Solomon.
There he is. There he is. Hey. Harold Cecil, the CEO and Chief Bottle Washer.
That's right.
Giant Loop.
And Stock Boy.
And Stock Boy, yeah. So Harold, this is 10 years of operation now.
11.
Yeah. 11 years now. And real quick history background, your ancestors came to Bend, Oregon from what, Norway?
Yeah, my grandfather immigrated straight from Norway to Bend as a 12-year-old who didn't speak a word of English, and my grandparents started the first ski shop here in Bend. Yeah.
And so your grandparents were in their garage fashioning outdoor equipment.
Yeah, my grandfather was routering out the edges of wooden skis to screw in metal edges for people and mounting bindings and doing stuff like that. Yeah, going back to the 30s. Yeah.
Wow. So let's go out and check out the first motorcycle of Giant Loop and how this all started.
Yeah, this is the first dual sport I got when I moved back to Bend.
So Harold, this is the first bike of Giant Loop. This is a 98 XR 600R?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And so what happened? You moved back to Bend area here and you wanted to go riding.
Yeah, I moved back to Bend and I was without a motorcycle. It'd been a couple years since I had one because I sold one off to go travel. So when I moved back to Bend, I said, gee, a dirt bike with a license plate's the bike I need. So I found this Honda set up with a Baja Designs light kit and it had a license plate on it. And this was the eye-opener for me that helped me discover, you know, the dual sport experience and led to the development of our first saddlebag.
Because before you had a saddlebag, you were just strapping stuff on and sleeping bags?
Yeah, so before I had some throw-over road bike panniers from my road biking days. I just throw them across the back and put a rafting dry bag on top. And every time I had to kickstart the bike, I had to undo one side of the panniers, kickstart the bike, and then reattach them, and that got old in a hurry.
Yeah. And so you developed this first horseshoe-shaped bag right here, huh?
Yeah, this was the product that we launched with in the fall of 2008. So this original bag was designed to literally bolt onto the plastics. You can still see the holes drilled in my plastics, and then we really quickly evolved from there. This kind of became the Coyote saddlebags.
Right. And the whole idea is like the perfect pillion rider that's stationed on the back of the bike. You're keeping the center of gravity low and it's not flopping around.
Yeah, the idea is that it's really wrapping the weight right around the subframe where the engineers designed the bike to bear the weight. And so by keeping it super tight to the bike and preventing it from flopping around and so on, we realized right away that there were a bunch of performance advantages to this horseshoe-shaped design.
Now let's roll over here to the latest bike here. This shows some of the product in action. Just quickly show us what some of the different products are you got hanging off of here.
Yeah, so still dirty from my trip last weekend. I dropped it in a stream crossing.
Good.
So I have some seaweed still clinging to the spokes there. But yeah, a couple of years ago we started working on some rack mounted solutions because many people, they like the hard luggage for commuting or road riding, but when they get off-road they want to switch to soft luggage. Many of the bikes come with racks stock, like the BMW GS Adventure models. So we started making rack-mounted specific panniers a couple years ago.
And the big advantage of these kind of panniers is for lazy packers. You can just throw stuff in there. With the Coyote bag, you got to pack very carefully, huh?
Yeah, you know, this is our apples-to-apples alternative to the big aluminum boxes. So these things have tons of room. We call them 90+ liters because they're so expandable. And so it really is easy to, if you're two-up riding, if you're on a long haul adventure that you need to carry a lot of gear, etc. That's kind of where this fits in. And then
and being soft luggage, it's safer too. If you tip over, you're less likely to injure yourself, huh?
Well, for sure. I mean, I think that this is happens a lot more commonly than people realize. That people get clipped in the back of the leg by their rigid luggage, and they get fractures in their legs, and it, you know, it is a real hazard, you know. And plus, we realized really early on that when you drop the bike a few times, you bend up the rigid panniers, then the lids aren't closing right, or the mounting tabs are breaking off, and so you're strapping stuff together just to get you through the trip and stuff. So we wanted to eliminate all that stuff.
And then some of the other products you got on here was a tail pack?
Yeah, so this is our Klamath tail rack pack. We have a spacer kit that allows you to remove the grab handles on the KTM Adventure models, which really tidies up the tail and makes our horseshoe shaped bags fit great.
Show us those clamps where you're clamping onto the...
Yeah, so we introduced this product a couple seasons ago, and then we made some nice updates and brought it back this season with a few changes. But the great thing about this system is it's quick release and lockable. And when you take it off the luggage racks, it doesn't leave anything behind on the luggage rack that has to be removed.
So you can put it in the hotel room and lock it up.
Yeah, just carry it to your campsite or your hotel, and and just literally clips on, you push the pin in to lock it.
And show us the latest on the tank bag here. You've gone to a, is this the Fandango?
Yeah, so we've had this tank bag in production almost since the beginning. In 2009 we introduced the Fandango tank bag, and every couple of years we circle back around and improve designs, address the feedback that we get from our riders and from our own experiences. And so to me, this year's model of our tank bags really kind of represents the pinnacle of this design. I think we really just nailed it this year. Like I love the single zipper design.
One-piece zipper design.
Yeah,
okay.
so you just zip to the corner and boom, there's your fuel fill.
Great.
And then when you're done, you just zip it back up and you don't have to restart the zipper. So I think that's the quickest, easiest fuel access of any tank bag in the business. So
great.
Yeah, we have electronics pass-throughs, so I can charge my electronics while I'm riding.
And here at Giant Loop now, you're kind of becoming more of a one-stop shopping. So like these mirrors and other accessories you're selling as well?
Yeah, you know, things that we've been using ourselves for years and recommending to people. A couple of years ago, we decided, well, we should just be selling to people ourselves. And so now we sell the double take mirrors, we sell the Mob Armor phone mounts, and a few other parts and accessories that kind of chime with our approach to riding.
And what's this bag down here?
So this is one of our waterproof fossils pouches, and we designed this to be an all-purpose 3.5 liter, 100% waterproof pocket that you can strap onto our saddlebags to give you external pockets. You can strap it onto a tail rack, etc. And it just so happens it fits perfectly on the OE crash bars of all these late model KTM Adventures. So I run one on each side with tools and things that aren't going to get broken if I fall on them and that sort of thing.
Things you need to change a tube on the trail.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way of the rest of your luggage.
Yeah.
And what year, make, and model are we looking at here? KTM 10?
This is our 2017 KTM 1090 Adventure R. And so we bought this new, I guess it would be almost 2 seasons ago now.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed this bike. I just did a 600+ mile weekend last weekend on it, and it does great on the pavement. It's fantastic off-road. I've really been enjoying it. Yeah.
A big adventure bike.
Yeah.
Here inside the Giant Loop Adventure Shop, the warehouse showroom, let's look at the products starting with the latest in the horseshoe shaped packs. So in the horseshoe shaped bag department, starting from biggest to smallest, what do you got?
Yeah, so these are the 3 horseshoe shaped bags that evolved out of that original saddlebag design. The Great Basin was the next one we developed. It's the largest one. It's designed to sit where the passenger would sit and take the place of a passenger on bikes that are designed to carry passenger. The Coyote is designed to sit behind the seat in more of a diagonal position, and is really designed for like dual sports and enduro bikes that don't necessarily have passenger pegs and that sort of thing. Overnight or longer trip, and then for a day of riding, that's where the Mojave saddlebag fits in.
And the two bigger bags all feature roll top entry.
Correct, yeah, we updated the design a few seasons ago. They're all now roll top access to the interior of the bag. The two big bags include a set of 3 waterproof inner liner bags. You can see an example here. Fully RF welded and air purge valve.
And that's the only way to make these bags fully waterproof is you...
Well, because they're sewn, you
right.
know, we try to describe things very accurately for people. So the outer shells are highly water resistant, but because they're sewn with needles and thread, there are minute needle holes through this outer shell. So if you do what I did last weekend, you dump your bike on the side in the middle of a stream crossing, thing's submerged, then water can begin to penetrate the seams. But if you have everything packed inside these inner waterproof liners, and everything is 100% waterproof. And we also include one of these aluminum heat shields.
This is important. Yeah.
And that's included with all 3 saddlebags. So the bag can literally be resting against the heat shield as long as it's not making direct contact with the exhaust, and it eliminates any damage that might be caused by the heat of the exhaust pipe.
Because that heat shield stands off of the exhaust pipe, so the metal is cool and the bag can rest on it.
Yeah, airflow and surface area help dissipate the heat.
Gotcha. Excellent.
Yeah.
As a quick aside, tell us a little bit about this Arrowhead collection.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty neat.
Harold, where'd you find this Arrowhead collection, or is this a family heirloom?
So the backstory there is that a friend of ours grew up in Page, Arizona, and her family was there before they put the dam in, and they were river runners and guides, and they had this amazing collection of Navajo artifacts. But these arrowheads were my friend's father traded with another collector who was from the Midwest, and so this particular collection comes from somewhere in the Midwest, and we don't really know where exactly or what tribe. In fact, I would love it if somebody could help identify like which tribe these are from or which part of the country, because there, I'm sure, are clues that an expert would be able to tell by the rock type as well as some of the projectile styles. But it's just a beautiful collection, and my friend was gracious enough to kind of put it on permanent loan here on display in our showroom to kind of match the Western theme we have going here. Yeah.
Great. From the saddlebags, we move into the panniers. You got 3 different models available now?
Yeah, so we started with the Siskiyou panniers with the idea that we wanted to develop a set of top loaders that on many bikes actually don't even require luggage racks. And then we, a couple of years ago, started working on some purely rack mounted options. So we introduced our Mototrek panniers, which are fully waterproof, RF welded. They basically strap to any hoop style side luggage rack. You can also use them in conjunction with our quick release mounts or completely independent of them. And then the Round the World panniers, again, this is our kind of apples to apples alternative to big rigid metal boxes, and they pair up with our quick release lockable mounts, which you can even bolt onto rigid panniers like this. So instead of having to open the lid, reach in, spin pucks loose, now you can just, with a single latch, take even your hard luggage on and off.
Tank bags, we talked about 2 different models basically, the Fandango and the Diablo.
Yeah, Fandango's 8 liters, Diablo's 4. They're virtually identical. It's more just a matter of personal preference. I usually go with the big tank bag on the big bike, and the smaller tank bag on the smaller bike.
Now Pete's got one of these handlebar bags. What do you call these? Zigzag?
The Zigzag, yeah. So this is one of our top sellers because it literally straps onto anything with handlebars, even a bicycle.
Even for kids, yeah.
We got a place to keep your wallet and keys and cell phone or things like that.
Yeah, we got some big floppy-eared, what do you call those?
Well, we call these bushwhackers, but they are hand savers is what they are. So these things, they just strap on with these quick straps around your rigid deflectors, And they'll keep you dry up to about your elbows when you're riding in the rain. They make your heated grips work more efficiently. They keep the mud and brush and so on out of your hands and controls as well. And then when you don't need them, you just pop them off and stow them away. So yeah, the Bushwhackers.
And we've also found that that makes a great place to change a tire on out in the field, right?
Tire change mats. Yeah, ask Jenny Morgan about that one,
We got the Klamath tail pack right there.
Yeah, so this is our little tail pack. This is kind of like having a tank bag on the tail of the bike, and I love this little two little side clips. Even with your gloves on, you're in and out of this really quickly with this clamshell lid design. Includes a waterproof inner liner bag. And
the pannier pockets, I've used those on the CB500X to store stuff for changing tires, get all that dirty stuff out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really easy on bikes to kind of pile gear up on the back of the bike. And one of the things that we're trying to do is distribute the load throughout the front and the bike to the extent possible. So these are designed to wrap around the front, extend the capacity of your tank bag, or you can use them independently or on engine guards or that sort of thing to help provide you with some pockets to store some items on the front of the bike as well.
A couple other small bags. You got a fender bag and a possibles pouch.
Yeah, so this is essentially the same bag in two different configurations. We developed this little 3.5 liter roll top bag as an all-purpose way to have some pockets that are designed to strap on to, like the legs of the saddlebags, to give you external pockets. They strap right into these little lash tubes. You can put them on the back side or front of the saddlebags. You can also mount it in the center position on the Mojave. You can mount them on the Moto-Treks, fore and aft. And then, yeah, they fit on engine guards, tail racks. They clip right into our new tail rack. You don't even have to undo the straps. They just clip into these little carabiner clips and you cinch it down, away you go.
Now this is an exciting new product. This is brand new at Giant Loop, right?
Yeah, in fact this is a pre-production sample. This is what it looks like now in final production. I've been riding literally with prototypes of this for 5 years on my bikes, and so I know that it works like a charm, but it literally took us that long to figure out how to pay for the tooling and get this thing into production. So, yeah.
Show us those little carabiner.
Yeah, so this is the secret sauce of this design. They're like a carabiner, and so you can just slip straps right in there and cinch everything down tight without having to rethread the straps. So
now let's take a look and see how that actually works. This is actually a lot more exciting than it looks. Now traditionally what I found using Harold's bags is once I got the bag mounted on the bike, I kind of want to leave it on the KTM because the KTM fender is this split fender design, and the hooks that the bags come with are more designed for the earlier Japanese style fenders. These fenders are real wide. So what this new rack allows you to do is mount this on your bike, and now you can throw on and off all of the modular equipment from Giant Loop quickly and easily.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the possibles pouch here and show us how those carabiners clip in there.
Yeah, so the cool thing is you don't have to undo the straps and rethread them. You just pull a little slack in the webbing, slip it in that carabiner clip. And you do that on all four corners and cinch the straps down tight, and away you go. So
gotcha.
Yeah, that's makes things a little quicker on and off, and keeps them 100% secure because they cannot slide out of those carabiner clips. And then you just cinch it down tight and you're ready to go.
And the other advantage of the tail rack is that it fits very low down on the fender, so you can swing your leg back up over your seat without interference.
Yeah.
So now Harold's going to demonstrate the Mojave bag, how quick you can install one of these now on your bike using a single pronghorn strap.
Yeah, so you can either use the included webbing strap that we ship with the bag, or you can upgrade to the pronghorn, which makes it a little more quick release and quick mount. So you just thread this through, and then the tail rack comes with hardware and spacers that give you just enough of a gap to slide the strap underneath the tail rack all the way through to the other side.
So it threads through underneath there and back up.
The spacers raised up just enough so you can slide the strap all the way through, and then through the Mojave, and boom. Then it's on, and it's anchored securely And now you can get the side straps tensioned down to make it completely secure on the bike.
So the whole idea is to support your bag onto the back of the bike.
Yeah, you know, it's really not designed to pile a bunch of weight here. It's more to provide anchor points, convenient anchor points. Yeah.
Now while we're at it, what the heck contraption is this?
So this is our 500 EXC that's been converted to a snow bike with this timber sled kit. So we built this bike up last winter, and it's just been a ball. It's like riding a dirt bike in the snow.
Wow. Convert your dirt bike into a snow sled or a timber sled.
Yeah.
And these wheels here, of course, are just for wheeling it around the shop, and that's the front ski that it rides on.
Yeah, so those are for loading and unloading and just pushing around, and then you just pull the wheels off and after you've unloaded it from the trailer, and away you go.
And Timber Sled is now a product of Polaris?
They were acquired by Polaris a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Very good. So one of the things, if you want to do a giant loop, is you need giant fuel range, and so one of the solutions to giant fuel range, instead of just filling up a Gatorade bottle and wrapping it with duct tape, is the new Giant Loop gas bag.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, we had tried all kinds of solutions over the years, but you know, any rigid can, it's the same size whether it's full or empty, plus this can empty weighs a couple pounds. You add the mount, that's a couple pounds more.
Yeah.
So I literally begged this company that's down the road from us here in Central Oregon called Fuel Safe. I begged them for like 4 years, please will you help me make this product? Because they make fuel tanks for race cars and aviation and so on. So they are fuel containment experts. And so they helped us develop the inner liner, which is specifically developed to hold fuel. So we sell this as an off-road racing product as well as an international travel product, because it's not legal to just show up at the gas station pump and fill it up. So, but yeah, this holds 1 gallon, weighs less than a pound empty, and the idea is you burn the gas out of your tank, and then you just roll it up and stow it away. Takes up hardly any space, weighs practically nothing. So we started with the 1 gallon, and we now have a 2 gallon, a 3 gallon, and a 5 gallon version. So these are oriented more toward the motorcycles. These are more for snowmobiles, side-by-sides, larger platforms.
And what's the biggest size? 5 gallons. So that's even all you backcountry aviators, you want to set fuel blivets out in the backcountry ahead of your adventure. This might be a 5 gallon option.
We have sold a few to bush pilots.
Yeah. Excellent. And if you haven't used these before, these pronghorn straps are just the handiest thing in the world for anything around the house. Get rid of those crummy bungee cords, I gotchas, dangerous devices, and use these instead.
Yeah, they have just enough stretch that you get a really positive connection. They have a little grippiness so things don't want to slide out from under them. They literally have a million uses. We always pack a handful of those with us.
Very adjustable. And the rock straps, I'm rocking a pair of those on the back of the Blanco Lirio mobile command post.
Yeah, we're big fans of those as well.
Yeah. Looks like you also carry a complete collection of Butler maps and even got some Lucy lights.
Yeah, for sure. We love the Butler maps, the BDR maps, and the road maps are just awesome products, good people. So we stock the entire collection of Butler maps. Then a couple seasons ago, we started adding some lightweight camping gear. In fact, I think you were one of the first people that I rode with that was using the Lucy light.
Yeah, so you got to get these.
Yeah. So it fits right into the clear map pocket on the tank bag, so you can charge that solar panel like all day while you're riding, and then have really nice light at the campfire. And they
last all night.
They weigh practically nothing. And yeah.
Now, one of the important lessons we've learned over the years about personal locator beacons is that the safest way to operate these things is have them on your body at all times. And you provide the little device that attaches it.
Yeah, this tracker packer holder. We actually were contacted by the Kurt Caselli Foundation. Their mission is to keep riders and racers safer, and so they really wanted to encourage people, as you said, to keep the device on themselves instead of on the vehicle, because typically, especially in a high-speed crash, vehicle and rider become separated. So this simple little holster enables you to mount up like a Garmin InReach unit or a Spot Gen 3 unit, strap it to a backpack, or it also has this nice little extension band that we just did a full redesign of these products this season, and now it's a nice quickly adjustable armband that you can wear it on your upper arm as well. So those are the tracker packers.
And are you selling the Spot trackers themselves too?
So yeah, we also sell the Spot Gen 3 units and these Garmin InReach mini units. And
are those proven to be pretty popular?
These are just going ballistic, and the advantage to these is that you can send and receive text messages with them via satellite, so you can be somewhere without any cell reception and still be in communication with people should you need assistance or that sort of thing. Even just to tell somebody you're not going to arrive on time or something.
So let's go behind the scenes here at Giant Loop and see what happens.
This is the public-facing part, the showroom, but behind the curtain here, this is the bowels of Giant Loop. So we've got Ryan, our customer service and sales guy. Probably many people have spoken with Ryan on the phone.
I handle all the phones and emails and walk-ins. So you probably heard the voice, see me at events. I am another face of Giant Loop.
And the voice too when we call, right?
He's on videos too, so you'll
see videos. Yeah.
Good.
I'm the guy.
The sucker. He just joined us this year, moved up from Southern Cal where he's working for FMF, and he's our marketing manager now. This is Dan, our operations manager. He helps make sure that everybody's headed in the right direction. It's herding cats around here.
Great.
And then back here is the warehouse part of the operations. A little bit of a break room and meeting room where...
Here's the plan. Off we go.
Yeah, top secret plan.
Yeah.
And this is kind of our receiving side of the warehouse back here. So this is Brendan.
Hey.
He's doing quality control and assembly for us. It looks like at the moment you're working on Mojave
kits.
Yeah, so these are the components that go into the Mojave saddlebag.
All right.
And then this is Jeff. Jeff just joined us this
season. Jeff.
And he's helping us with the shipping, primarily the outgoing shipping stuff, but he's also helps with assembly and QC and so on. So when we get
more straps, more buckles.
That's right. So we get new product coming in, they're delivered on this side, and then these guys do the spot checks and the assembly and so on. And then they move to the other side over here is our outgoing, finished, ready to ship goods. So this is the ship station where Jeff's working throughout the day, doing pick, pack, and ship. You can see we've got some boxes stacked up here, ready to go out the door.
Out the door.
FedEx, UPS, Postal Service.
Good.
But yeah, this is basically our shipping stock.
It's also neat and clean, Harold. How long did it take you to do that?
Oh man, that was that's been a process spanning years for us to get the warehouse organized, and several people have contributed over the years. But yeah, I feel good about it now. It's looking good. And this is kind of our admin offices up here. So Paul is our production manager.
Hey, Paul.
He started working with us within the first few months of starting Giant Loop because he had his own business and knew how to do the shipping and everything. So we started paying him just per shipment to do our shipping for us. And he was working out of his garage at his home. And then I hired him full time, and he moved into my little office downtown until we had boxes stacked to the ceiling. We couldn't manage there anymore. And that's when we moved into the warehouse here. So yeah, Paul's been with us since almost the beginning, and he manages all our production and logistics and so on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the help, Paul.
Hey, no worries. Glad to help.
Yeah, and they shoved me back here in the corner.
Yeah, that's just you get the office with no windows there, Harold.
That's right. I just have laptop will travel. I just move wherever. I'm back here because there's air conditioning.
Good. And then hidden back here behind the stocks of boxes.
Yeah, so this is my favorite part of the shop. In fact, maybe I should hide some of this stuff because it's not really
This is top secret over here.
For public consumption yet. So yeah, this is our design area. So currently our product designer, Lindsay, she and I are collaborating on projects. We review prototypes, we make notes, we work through the whole design process typically we start with making paper models. So we use this pattern making paper to...
And that's a real thick material.
Yeah, it's like a nice thick kind of board stock almost.
Do you glue that together or sew that together? Or?
Glue, tape, yeah. Basically just to get shapes and proportions and dimensions. And then once we've kind of worked out the rough, shapes and so on, then it moves into a digital environment, and we're designing basically in a computer, and then we move into making pre-production prototypes and samples and work through that process. So we're working months and even years out on developing new products.
All right, thanks, Harold. Thanks for the look behind the scenes here at Giant Loop and all that you do to help make adventure motorcycling feasible for the rest of us.
Oh, well, thanks. So great to have you come by.
Yeah.
Great to see you. We need to do some more riding.
Yeah, let's go. That's the problem with the guy who owns the shop that has all the cool equipment now has hardly enough time to go riding.
Oh, I still manage to get some riding in, but...
And you got 2 rides that you do each year. You got one coming up, Volcano Camp?
Yeah, we host our big ride first weekend in June. We had 120 people camped out at a hot spring out here in the desert this year, and so that happens every year, first weekend in June. And then we added a fall ride in September we call Volcano Camp. It's just south of here in the Newberry National Volcanic Monument, or just outside the monument boundary. And yeah, we're still taking signups for that one, so we'd love to have anybody who has that weekend after Labor Day available to come ride with us. So.
And that's all weekend long? You got the food and the camping all taken care of? And,
yeah,
and
camping, a couple dinners, a couple breakfasts, some nice local microbrews, fun and games.
You bring your keg with you?
Well, yeah, we still, we have some kegs that probably need to get drained.
And then you got riding options for all different kinds of riding, whether you want to go single track or adventure riding.
Well, yeah, especially, at this location, street, trail, dual sport, you name it. There's just great riding on any bike type. So even though we are kind of dual sport focused, we definitely are inclusive and try to invite anybody who wants just to come camp and hang out and ride.
Great. And so how do we find you online?
GiantLoopMoto.com.
GiantLoopMoto.com. See you here. Thanks, Harold. So I hope you enjoyed this in-depth, behind-the-scenes look at one of my favorite motorcycle stores in America today, Giant Loop Moto in Bend, Oregon. As I truly believe that the entrepreneurial spirit of the successful small business owner and the inherent risks that they take are an absolutely vital part of our economy and make them true American heroes.